Good evening. It is now Monday night, and I'm exercising some breathing technique that I learned before. This technique is actually came from a Lonely Planet book. One of the first Lonely Planet book they ever written is in early 1970s, and the owner of the Lonely Planet at that time is just a backpacker guy from Europe. So he and his girlfriend back then, after that, they would be wife and husband. So they are traveling throughout Myanmar, which is called Burma at that time. And they are in Bagan, one of the biggest temple compound in Southeast Asia. Magnificent sight. And they're staying nearby in hotels, and they sit and have a coffee with some of the local there. So they asked one of the guy that how is life living under the militaries, because at that time Myanmar is still in, and almost up to now, still in military rules. So the guys feel like it's a sensitive question and he don't want to answer it. So he answered that enjoy the coolness of the air when you breathe in, and enjoy the warmness of the air when you breathe out. So I think it is a spectacular quote about breathings, and I exercise it a lot, and I really enjoy it. Because if you think about it, since the day you was born until the day you die, breathing is a single thing that you do all the time, that you consciously or unconsciously do it every time, except some of the occasion when you try to keep your breath, like under the water or something, when you go swimming, when you do snorkeling. So basically, you do it all the time. So why don't you learn it a bit? So the society, as I understand at the moment, is a shallow breathing societies when many people not really aware of breathing, and they focus on other thing, and they consider breathing is like basically they take it for granted. So to understand breathing, you have to understand a little bit more that when you were born, it's not crying is the first action that a baby do, but it's actually breathe in, inhale. He inhale first, he got the first air, then he cry. Because if there's no air, how can he have the energy to cry? He just freshly came out of the womb, full of water. So the first action of the child is breathe in. Then he breathe out and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in. And when you die, the last action you do is breathe out. That's very simple to understand. So if you think about it, life is a journey when the first action you do is breathe in, and when you reach the destination, which is dead, the journey finally ends with a breathe out thing. So it's like you are walking from the start to the finish line. Breathe in is your right leg, and breathe out is your left leg. So you move first, right leg, breathe in, then you breathe out, left leg, right leg, left leg. Then when you reach the finish line, it's the left leg. You reach the line, then finally your journey is finished. So when you breathe in, you live a little longer. And when you breathe out, you die a little. When you breathe in, the air come in, It give you more energy. If you give you air, they give you life. You breathe in life, you breathe out. Breathe in life, you breathe out. So if you want to understand about death, you try to exercise breathing out more. You try to lie down on the floor, and when you breathe in, you make sure that it's just normally breathe in. And when you breathe out, you breathe longer. You breathe much longer so that your body rests longer. So you can understand a little bit of what will happen when you die, just before you die. It's a little bit similar. So if you do like that for 10 minutes or something every day for a whole week, maybe at the end of the week you understand a little bit more about death, and maybe you won't be scared of it, because it's a process. Because you will reach that stage at one time, a certain time, and after that, the feeling that you feel is nothing different from you and the tree and the bird and the butterfly and the giraffe or the rhino after they die. It's completely nothing. Is similar. So you don't have anything to feel about. So when you leave, you try to think about life, about living, and try to understand the process of death, so that you won't be scared of it, so that you don't feel about it. Back on the breathing technique. So the technique that I use the most is the one from the book Lonely Planet. So you try, when you breathe in, you can feel that when the air come in through your nose, it creates a cool flow of air into the nose tube, and you feel it. It's cool, it's lovely, it's vividly. And when you breathe out, the nose feels the warmness. So when you are alone, you can think about this way. When you are alone, you are only interact with the air. The air is a surrounding object for you, so you just interact with it. You breathe in a bit, you breathe out a bit. So when you are in the crowd, or in the theater, in the cinema, in the market, you see full of people. You meet one person, you say, hello, how are you? Did we meet before? So interaction between a human and another human. So it's similar. If you consider air, it's a human, similar to us. Or you imagine you are an air atom, similar to the air. So you just try to interact with it, similar way, back and forth, give and take. And when you focus on your nose, and when you enjoy the warmth, the coolness, there's nothing much you can think of at that time. So all the thoughts about life, all the thoughts about your colleague, all the thoughts about your parents, your friends, all the conversation, all the thought about the news that you read today, the thing that you watch today on the televisions. You don't have much time to think about it. So you are kind of back to inner world. Just enjoy the aloneness with the air surrounding, and you will not feel lonely. You feel that you enjoy the aloneness at that time. Okay, so maybe next time I will tell a little bit more about the meditation technique that use the breathing. But today I think it's enough. Bye bye.